Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So about literally less than a minute ago, a delivery man just came, brought me a package from Sephora, which had my Clarisonic Mia, which my mom got me for Christmas. So I'm really excited about that. It makes me happy because it's supposed to really help like dark spots on your nose, which I have never been able to get anything to get rid of. So that's exciting. Other cool stuff that I've gotten this week has been the 101 Things I Learned in Architecture School book. So now Kenzie and I have sort of matching books, and I really like this so far. I've only read less than 50 of them. I've read 25 or something, but it's just really simple, cool stuff. I like it. And yesterday I got my camera bag, which I really like. It's this one. It's got it's a very dark blue, so it's got just a little bit of color without being super bright, and it's pretty small. I mean, it's the size of my head, which is, it's the smallest that it could be probably for my camera. It fits it just perfectly fine. It goes into that little pocket, and then in the back it's got another pocket for chargers and things like that. So I really like it. You can't really fit extra lenses, not that I have any, but if I did or anything, but you know, it's what I need right now. It's and it doesn't look like a big bulky camera bag, which is what I really like. You could probably not even tell that I have a camera. So if I go on a trip or something and I want to bring my camera with me, I don't look like a tourist with a giant camera bag, and it's also less likely to get snatched because they don't know that it's a camera in there for sure. So I like it. I'm happy to have gotten that. And those are the three things I got this week. Other awesomeness of this week is that today and yesterday have had such amazing, they just been amazing days, as far as weather goes. Today it's 58 outside. 58 in January, guys. How does that happen? I could go out there in a t-shirt right now. I'm wearing a long sleeve because it was colder in the morning. When I left for class, I needed a few layers and everything, and my gloves and all. But right now it's just super warm and nice and toasty, and yesterday was also beautifully sunny and amazing. The few days before that though were really bad. They were really cold and rainy, just warm enough that it wouldn't turn into snow. So 35 degrees, but in the rain it felt way colder than 35, so it was it felt cold enough to be snowing, but it wasn't cold enough to be snowing, which is just not what you want. If it's that cold, it should be snowing. But yeah, my week has been, you know, like most weeks, it's been pretty awesome. It's been a nice combination of work and awesome, just a healthy balance. So I've been working quite a bit, but then I've also been having fun times. My weekend wasn't very crazy or anything. It was pretty mild actually. On Friday, I went really late to the gym with Shira and Quint, and this is actually the first time I went to Macoma's, which is the recreational facility and not just the little gym in New Res, which has one treadmill, one bike, and it just has nothing. But the gym at Macoma's is amazing. I've never been to a gym that cool. It was really exciting to me. It's just got so much stuff. Any machine you could ever think of, they probably have it. The cardio room, which is what we did for an hour, is probably the size of 2 basketball courts, and then next to that are 2 actual basketball courts, and then under it is a room the same size with just lightweight stuff, those machines that have weights attached to them but are more less intense, not really muscle building, maybe more toning and stuff. And then there's another whole room for heavy weightlifting, for actual building muscles, and you know, there's lockers and showers and all of that. So it's the coolest gym I've ever been to. It's ginormous and it's got so much stuff. There's this really cool stair machine that kind of but it's got actual stairs that are moving down, and they spin and they come back up, so it's a treadmill of stairs. It's really neat, and you're up really high and you're going upstairs forever, except I only lasted 7 minutes on that, which was 30 stories of climbing. And after 7 minutes, that was the most I could push myself. I was if I don't get off this thing, I'm gonna faint or something. It's really intense. But it's very nicely located. You're kind of looking at the basketball courts, so yeah, basketball players. And that's pretty much all we did on Friday. Then we came back and hung out and stuff like that. We ended up going, I think, to Shira's room for a little while, and Joanne was there with a bunch of her studio friends, and they were playing this game called, I think it was Word Tango or Talking Tango, probably Talking Tango. And it's this game where you have to make sentences with another person. So you'll get a person that you have to do it. So say I have to do it with Shay, and then you get a word. So say our word is throne, and then we choose an amount. We both look at the word, and that the only communication we can have before starting is how long do we think it will take them to guess. So you can choose either 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or 30 seconds. So we'll agree 10 seconds, it's an easy word. So then somebody puts on the timer and I start talking and we have to go one word in one word, building a sentence, trying to get people to understand what our word is. So I would say like, chair, that, king, sits on. That would be a really easy one. But for like more complicated ones, like people start a sentence and then somebody else like says something else and they're like, that's not where I was going with that. So it was a fun game. I almost won. I was like second place. And that's just what we did all night. You know, nothing too exciting, but it was very fun. And then Saturday night, I also ended up spending with those people because I was just chilling in my room, you know, watching Buffy. Not a very exciting night. And Shira was like, hey, we're going to Deeds. Do you want to come? And I was like, it's Deeds. Of course I want to come. So Quinn is actually working at Deeds and he made me a chai shake. And then we came back and we just hung out in Shira and Joanne's room and talked and hung out. You know, fun stuff like that. They're nice people. I like them. I had a good time. And then, like, I don't even know what I did during the days of my weekends. Oh, Sunday I like went to studio, did some studio time work. And then when I got back, I was just chillaxing, not much homework left. I ended up spending like my night hanging out with Max at the third floor kitchen, just like talking and laughing and trying to sketch something that I kept failing at miserably. It's sad how bad I am at sketching, and I have to do like 2 daily sketches for like different classes. This is gonna kill me, but hopefully I'll be good by the end of it. I better be, or else I will just give up on life. That would be really sad, but I'm pretty convinced I'm gonna get good at this. Oh, I also got, I didn't mention of stuff that I've like gotten in the mail this week. I also got 2 new sketchbooks today. One for each of those classes that I have to sketch daily in. And then Monday I just went to class, then I had a GAB meeting, Global Architecture Brigade, and it's really exciting because this semester we're actually working for a competition. We're designing a medical facility for a small community in Honduras, and a bunch of like people, different schools submit their design, and the design that wins actually gets built. So we're working on that, and I like it. It's very enjoyable. You know, it should be, because that's probably like the sort of thing I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, designing. So if I didn't enjoy designing, that would be a problem. So then I got back and I like planned to be all studious, and then Max texted me and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, studying. And he was like, you should take a study break and come on a library adventure with me and Aaron and a friend of Aaron's, whose name I don't know if he knew, but he just said a friend of Aaron's. So then I went over to Aaron's room because I'd never been to the library, so I was like, yeah, let's go to the library. And Aaron was like, oh, hey, Adam, do you know Nancy? And we both just like laughed, and we're like, actually, we just saw each other like half an hour ago. Well, Adam is the new president of GAB, so we've just been at the meeting together, and that was funny because I'd never actually gotten to like hang out with Adam, and he's really cool. He's really fun. I'm glad I got to get to know him as more than the guy who stands up in the meetings, or like in this meeting, because he just like, he's only been present for 1 meeting. But anyway, so we went on like the quick adventure, and then I got back and I was like, okay, now I'm going to my room and studying. They were going to watch Inglourious Bastards. I was like, I need to study. So then I came back and I was like, I hate being alone in my room reading. So I was like, you know what, I'll multitask. So I took my computer over there and did my reading while we watched Inglourious Bastards, and I talked to Shay at the same time. And this is when the engagement between Max and Shay came to be, which will result in the coolest petting zoo wedding in the history of ever. I was just like talking to Shay. Max was like, what's up? Who are you talking to? And I was like, Shay. And he was like, oh, tell her I love her blog, her Tumblr. And I was like, Shay, Max loves your Tumblr. And she was like, well, I love him. And I was like, and he loves you, winky face. And she was like, do you know what that means? And I was like, you should get married and have babies. And that's how it came to be. Just very natural, you know, it just happened. Go with the flow. Anyway, that night was like just so funny. We laughed like ridiculous amounts. So I'm glad I didn't get that much homework done to do that, because it was worth it. And last night I was just here working on my RA application, and Mike's came in and he was like, hey, my roommate's like sleeping and I don't know what's wrong with Sweet. So he's like, can I just like chill here and write my essay while you do whatever you're doing? Like, go for it. So we were being sort of slightly productive. I kind of was. He wasn't really. He was listening to music. But then Meg came in, and all productiveness just went out the window. So then Meg came in. Oh, by the way, Meg is now in a sorority. She is officially a Kappa Delta. Hey guys, sorry for the rough editing there. I had to go to my relay meeting, and then when I got back, I spent some time with Maggie because I haven't really seen her all semester since we got back, and then I ended up going to dinner with Aaron and Max, and then I ended up passing out on Aaron's couch for like an hour while she did bio homework. I feel so refreshed. I love naps. So now I'm back. So yeah, that night, pretty much, in essence, we talked Meg sorority stuff, and that eventually ended up with Max and me finding a guy in tech with a name that started like Y, so that we could help Meg eventually in her life make out with a guy who's like one guy who starts with each letter of the alphabet. That's our new goal for her, and we're gonna help her do that. And we thought Y was pretty hard, so we found one for her, because, you know, it's a hard task, so we're gonna help her out because we're good friends like that. Last night, eventually Erin came by as well, and we just hung out. And then I did my application, finished it up, went to Danae, had her check it over and stuff, and came back, and Tucker and Shay know this already because I was talking to them and freaking out to them as it happened, but my application like glitched on me, and so even though it said a few days before that Miss Langley had submitted her recommendation, yesterday it was like, yeah, it hasn't been submitted, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have like 5 hours to get a recommendation, it's 3 in the morning, what am I gonna do? So I freaked out, and I'd like refreshed the page and it wouldn't change, but then eventually I went back and all of a sudden it was submitted again. So that solved itself, which was good because I was freaking out. But yeah, that was oh, and guys, look at this. With my Clarisonic, I got like so many